right. I have to move things around on my desk. Okay, are we ready to finish our spring ladies? We kind of have a lot of like little things today, so it might be another long-ish one, but it's just because we've got like so many little things to do. So let's get started. Let me get you turned around here. I feel like I should know where all the buttons are at this point, but I'm still like, every time I have to flip this around, I'm like, what is going on? Hey, Roman, can you take that into your room? Okay, you can turn it down, that works. Okay, so I think, the pattern I have, this one is purple, but I think I want to do pink up here and purple down here instead and just swap them. So I'm going to do these first, and we'll do some light pink. So I'm going to get out my light pink, which is 603. If you're doing the pastels, it's 3713. And then the green is the darker green. So the darker is 701 for the brights, and oh, sorry, I keep bumping that. 3347 for the pastels. So let's start there. I have this too close. All right, we are going to do some detached chain stitches, which we've done. Like, that's like all we're doing today is a bunch of detached chain stitches and lazy daisies. So it should be a good time. Hey, Rome, that is still too loud, buddy. Okay, this is still connected. My brown, I never tied it off yesterday. Okay, now I think we're ready. All right, so you can do any number of threads you want. I'm going to do 3 strands just because I already have 3 strands out from when we were doing this one down here. But if you want to do more, you totally could. Especially on these ones. Like, these ones are big enough that you could do like 6 strands and it would be super cute. I gotta move this one more time. All right. So I've got my 3 strands, I've got my little knot, and we are just gonna start here and work our way out. So detached chain stitches, we're gonna go in and out of that same hole. And then out to the end, loop it over the top, and then pull it snug. The tighter you pull it, the straighter your loop will be. So if you want it a little bit loopier, don't pull it quite as tight. So I'm not gonna go in and out of the same exact hole just because we've got three loops going right here. I am starting with the pink thread. Somebody said, are we starting with pink or green? I like to start with the pink. I like to fill in the green after. You could do green first if you wanted, but I like to start with the flower part and then fill in greenery. But if you want this to be, or, okay, what was I saying? I'm sorry, I got distracted. When there's a whole bunch all in the same spot, I generally don't do them all in the exact same hole. I do them like all within the same area, but just really close together and not in the same spot. Mm-hmm. And I usually do the center one kind of like on the top almost. Like this one is kind of like laid over top of these two, which is cute and fun. Okay, and then I'm just gonna come down here and do the next one. You guys caught me on a baking spree these last couple weeks. I've been baking a lot. Today is crazy baking day. Okay, so I want this one to lay over the top of this pink flower, so I'm gonna come up here. And then same thing, you're gonna do it the exact same, you're just stitching over other stitches, so. I finally made my bagel dough this morning. It is currently rising. So I should have bagels tonight or tomorrow, depending on how fast they rise and how much energy I have later, because I also made sandwich bread and cinnamon rolls and lasagna. It's been a busy morning. Okay, so once they start to get really big, I really like to keep them a little bit looser so that they can kind of fan out like I want them to. All right, I'm gonna do this one in the middle and then the two in the, like the second and fourth ones. I'm gonna do them. Just a tiny bit differently. I'm gonna come up kind of at an angle right here. So you could do more than 5, whoops, here we go. More than 5 little loops if you wanted, if you feel like you have the space, or if you just want to fill it up more. I think 5 is good. I like odd numbers for petals and stuff. Like I nearly always will do an odd amount of things. Threes and 5s and all that. Okay. There we have some little cute flowers. Okay, so let me tie this off. do some green. So I've got my darker green, so 701 or 3347. And I'm gonna do however many strands you use for the petals is what I would use for the stem. So I used 3, so I'm just gonna stick with that and do 3 for these stems. So if you used 2 or 4 or 6 or whatever, I would do the same. Okay, or if you have a scrap piece that you're wanting to use, just use that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is come up kind of under, oops, I grabbed some of that pink. I'm just gonna come up like underneath it. And then I'm gonna go down in this same hole so that they are connected. And then same thing here, I'm gonna come up in the same hole. And one more time. I'm not gonna do any leaves or anything, but if you wanted to, you could like add some little leaves or some little extra branches or something. Like you could do a little something over here, like that. Don't pull too hard, you'll pull these stitches off. Anyways, you could add some little extra sprigs if you want to. Okay? Now, I'm trying to remember. Let me pull up my pattern. I'm pretty sure I had, come on. Yeah, I have these ones, whoops, as lighter green. So I'm gonna do the darker green right here for these ones. I said I was gonna do pistol stitches. Let me zoom out. So you could do pistol stitches like this over here. I'm gonna do a straight stitch with a French knot at the end though, so I can do green and a dark pink. So because I have so much stitched right here, I'm just gonna trail my thread because I'm ended here. I'm just gonna come and bring it over here because all those stitches will cover up that trailing thread that I'm not worried about it. So I'm gonna come up here and just do some cute little stems. Then we can be done with this green. See, all of that's covered up really well. I love pistol stitches, but I really like 2 colors. So we run into a problem when we want to do both. Okay, so I just have this little leftover piece. It just has 2 strands, so I'm going to double it over so I have 4 because I like a bigger French knot. I'm not as big of a fan of like a smaller French knot. So depending on how big you want your French knot, I would say, first of all, use a scrap piece if you have something already cut. If you don't, I might go with like 3 or 4 strands, or you could even do 6 and just do like a single wrap or a double wrap. So French knots, I'm gonna do a double wrap with 4 strands. Yeah, that's a good size. Should I do 1 colonial knot as well? Do you guys need a little refresher on colonial knots? I'll do 1 colonial knot. So we're gonna go up and around. There. Cute little guys. The day that I get to add like all the teeny tiny details is one of my favorites. I love to just like go around my pattern and like add little add little things here and there, especially when it's flowers. It's fun to just like get out every single color and just have fun with it. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna move down here and do these ones. And then we'll do, so these 2 are gonna be the same as this one. So I think I'm gonna do these down here and then the 2 sprigs, and then you can do this one on your own. So let me get out my light purple. So mine, the brights is 553. The pastels is 3836. And I have this nice little scrap piece that I'm gonna use. So I've got 3 strands. 3 strands is what we used over here. So if you didn't like this size, you could try doing something else over here with more or less strands, but I kind of like to keep some consistency. So I'm gonna keep stitching with 3 strands and move while I move over here. So okay, what am I talking about? So these are considered detached chain stitches. They're just single stitches on their own, detached chain stitches. When you make them into a flower, it's then considered a lazy daisy. That's the only difference, is the shape that you're making with them. So a lot of people, if you hear somebody use the term lazy daisy, they're sometimes talking about a detached chain stitch. It's the same thing. People use them interchangeably. Okay. So let's do some lazy daisies. One thing with lazy daisies that I like to think about is making sure that there's a little bit of room if you're putting a center on them, which we're gonna do. So just making sure you're not using all the same holes, because we want to be able to have a little bit of space to put in our French knot. So they're like really close to each other, almost touching or sometimes touching, but just still leaving like a little bit of space in the center, because I feel like if there's too many strands in one hole, then it just like stretches it and it's hard to get your French knot to stay in there. I also like to think about what flower I'm going to stitch next. So because I'm going to stitch this one next, I'm going to do this petal and then I'll do this petal, because then I'm a little bit closer to where I'm going next. So I don't have like big trailing threads everywhere I go. I mean, these are like right next to each other, so it is not like it's going to matter that much, but sometimes it matters. Like if we did this one last and then we had to come down here, I don't know, just seems like a waste of thread for no good reason. easy because then we're like right here by this center, so we can just start our next little flower. Roman's in playing a game. He hasn't been able to be on his iPad at all today because we had friends over. And now he's like in there talking to himself. So lazy daisies are fun because you could add, like depending on how big of a space, like you could put so many petals on these and make it look completely different. You could do 6, you could probably fit 10 depending on, I don't know, these might be a little bit too small of a space to do that many, but anyways, they're just fun, like little filler flowers. They're super fast and like really, really cute. I don't really worry about whether they're all the same length. I mean, they're close to the same length, but if some of my loops are a little bit longer than others, like I don't really worry about it just because they don't need to be like perfect or anything. Whoop. I love it. Bear does commentary while playing too. It's fun to hear them. Giselle's talking about Roman playing his game and like talking to himself. I love when kids do that. I think it's so cute. My oldest does it the most, like talks to himself when he's like playing games and stuff. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Get it, get it, get it. He got Mario Odyssey a couple weeks ago and totally talks to himself the most when he's playing that because he's like finding things and I don't know. It's cute. And just to update you all, it did snow again last night. So we're just in endless winter. I'm thinking about yellow centers for these flowers. Do you guys have an opinion? What color you want to see? Here, let me zoom this out while I finish these and you can look and tell me if you think they should be another color. I really like a yellow center, but we could do one of the pinks or we could do the purple, the dark purple. I mean, we could do green, but, or black, or brown. Black could be fun. Or all of the colors. I mean, yeah. One of each. One of each, please. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do one of each. Don't sign me up for that. Threading my needle 4 different times? No. Dark purple. I like dark purple. Is that too much purple over here? We've already got purple there. Got the dark. Anybody else want to weigh in? can't decide. I kind of want to do them black. I want to do dark purple. We'll keep it colorful. Okay, I gotta find it though. It's in my bag. You just pick whatever color makes your heart feel happy. I'm gonna go with dark purple because Shelly said, oh, Kelly, you're a little too late. She says yellow or light pink, but I already got the purple out and I'm threading my needle. Black to match the red flowers. See, that's what I was thinking. Ugh. Now you have me second guessing. See, I feel like there needs to be another black because there's black over here. I'm just looking. I think I have to do black. I wonder if I mixed. You know what? Let's mix. Let's mix colors. Hold on. Let me get my black out. I'm gonna do a strand of black and a strand of purple. I'm gonna do two colors. Okay. One purple, one black. Because then it'll make it like a really, really dark. It'll almost look like dark, dark purple. I mean, they're like similar in color. Okay, so I've got one of each and I'm just gonna double them over so that I have 4 strands because I like a juicier French knot. If I don't like them, I'll just take them out and do something else. So I'm gonna do a double wrap. I don't know. I don't think I like it. I think I want them yellow. I'm making them yellow. I am so indecisive. I feel like I've made too many decisions today. All right, Kelly, you win, okay? Sorry, Shelly. I'm sorry. All right. We've decided on yellow. Let me get my strands separated here. I think that it would look good. Maybe if it was just all purple, I should have done that, but too late now. Okay. I've threaded my needle too many times. At this point, I could have done one of each color. Goodness sake. Okay. So I've got my 4 strands. I'm gonna do a double wrap again. Yeah, that's cute. One more pop of yellow for our spring lady. Yeah, yellow's cute. That was a good choice. I almost want to go back and take out the black here and do a different color. I'm not gonna. All right. What else? What else? Let's do these ones down here. I'm gonna do mine the lighter green. I have gotten every single color out of my bag. Okay, so the lighter green, I'm using 703. So your pastels would be 3348. I'm gonna stick with our 3-strand rule today. Now, this is another one where you can freehand it like I did up here, or you can draw, if you haven't already, you can draw where you want your little loops to go. So I'm just gonna kind of, this is about where I want them. So with these, now it's gonna be the same as our purple, but I'm doing these a little bit further apart, and because we're working with one single color, whoop, there we go. I like to start at the top and do the whole stem, and then I work my way back up with the detached chain stitches. Because it makes sense to stitch them that way. So I'm gonna start up here and just do a back stitched stem, and I'm just gonna do 1 stitch between each set of detached chain stitches, just like I did with the purple. Because that stem gets pretty covered up. So now I'm not gonna do, well, yeah, I am. I lied. Ignore me. Make sure your last one is a back stitch so that you can come back up right there and do your detached chain stitch. So then with each finished detached chain stitch, then we can just come right back over to the stem and do our next little set of leaves. So you could do the stem at the same time that you're doing the leaves. This is just what I have found is easiest for me, is to do the stem first and then work my way back up with the leaves. So feel free to do it differently or do them at the same time if you want to. That's fine. Ooh, those were small. I could have made them bigger. I'm gonna take these out and redo them. Hold on. Because that was a big back stitch. Gotta rethread. Oh my goodness, I have threaded my needle way too many times in this short time frame. Okay, trying again. I'm gonna make this a little bit taller. Now my threads are like separating. Look at that loose one. Hold on. There we go. almost done. Oops, that one was kind of small too. Can I do 2 more? I'm almost out of thread. Okay, so we started up here, so our knot is right there. So just be conscious of that when you're putting your needle there. There we go. So cute. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do this one and then the one above the sunflower as well. And she'll be done. Okay, so I'm gonna let you do the rest by yourself. I will post mine in my stories when I'm done, just these 2. And then that's it, friends. So I will do another live next week to show you how to finish your hoops, like finish the backs of them. So if you don't know how to do that, I will try to remember to put a poll in my stories about what day next week would work well. My kids are on spring break, so it might be loud. Light green for all of them? Yes, I'm gonna do all of mine light green. If you wanted to do some dark green, you totally could. Or do dark green up here and light green down here, or whatever. But with this dark green, I wanted this to be light green since they're right next to each other. But you could totally do dark green up here if you wanted. I mean, you could do dark green wherever you want, but anyways, I will be live next week to show you how to finish this, so you have the weekend to finish what you want. And yeah, thanks so much. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, such a fun stitch along. She's definitely one of my top favorites. We needed some flowers. So thanks so much for joining in. I will see you again next week, and have a great weekend. Bye.